Welcome back to the Bet Canada Challenge. I am your host, Jeff Lloyd, and with NFL camps stated to open within 1 month, we might well get into some NFL previews. And let's be honest, if we're going to do it, you start at the top, right? Last year's defending champion, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is so good. Their right tackle, Lane Johnson, also their left tackle, are future Hall of Famers. That is the talent level that this team possesses. Their wide receiver group, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson, all firmer first-round picks and just really, really gelling with quarterback Jalen Hurts. You start, though, with Saquon Barkley, the new Madden cover boy. His reverse jump last year took the NFL by storm, and that is now going to grace the EA Madden cover for this season. Saquon Barkley had the opportunity to rush for 2,000 yards in the regular season, felt it was more important that he get rest that final week, putting the team over his individual accomplishments. Stuff like that goes a long way, and it helps with winning franchises to continue their momentum. If you may remember, early in the 2024 NFL regular season, there were some issues with AJ Brown. AJ Brown was just not that highly involved with the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They were muddling their way through, winning most of their games, and a guy like AJ Brown, who's always been a absolute performer and producer in this league, kind of was quiet about it, waited his time, knew it would work out for him. Well, as A.J. Brown's game started to explode and get back to the norm, the Eagles' offense started to explode. Jalen Hurts, and for years, Jalen Hurts was a dual threat. Like his running ability was just as important as his passing ability. But in 2024, by bringing in a guy like Saquon Barkley, it allowed Jalen Hurts to just focus more on throwing the ball, taking the easy yards when it was there for him to have, and of course, getting those tush push short yardage situations. But this offense did not need much work, and the Eagles were exactly smart about it. They did not put much into it. This offense is built and it has a sustainable build to it. With Barkley now in the fold and Hurts, whether it is handing off, whether it is using his legs to pick up yards, or just feasting on play action and getting guys involved like Smith, like Brown, like Dotson, who was an early star in the Super Bowl last year, the Eagles' offense has really found its way and has really become comfortable within its own skin. There were times early in 2024, late in 2023, where people were actually wondering what the future of the Eagles was. As much so, were they going to actually make a coaching change? But once they got through their initial struggles, things really, really started to pick up. And as we all saw, the playoff games weren't really that highly tested. The Rams were kind of in it, but then the Eagles went to the NFC Championship game and dropped a 50 burger on the Washington Commanders. So it's not about how you start. It's about where you end up. And I think that's what you learned about the Eagles last year. Certainly something that you have to think is going to have the Eagles in the top contention for not just the Super Bowl berth from the NFC, but also probably from going back to back in the Super Bowl as well. Now, if you're enjoying this, please come back. Next video, we will talk about the upstart Washington Commanders and whether or not they can be a threat within the NFC East, and also about whether or not they can possibly find a way to go from NFC Championship game to the Super Bowl themselves. The Eagles did have some changes to make this offseason. Moved on from defensive players Darius Slay, interior defensive lineman Milton Williams, edge rusher Josh Sweat. All of these guys were highly productive for the Eagles. But if the Eagles know one thing, it's you can't always hang on to yesterday. You have to build your team for today and for the future. The Eagles in losing Josh Sweat. They have players who can step up. Nolan Smith was a first round pick 2 years ago. Jalex Hunt was a mid round pick 1 year ago. Found his way late in the year, had 2 sacks in the Super Bowl. Milton Williams will be replaced by Morrow, who another guy excelled last year in the Super Bowl. And this is before we get to the fact that this team has defensive tackles in Jordan Davis, who's been a fantastic player for them. And let's talk about the only interior player, in my opinion, in the entire NFL who you could probably say the name Aaron Donald as far as that type of talent, that type of game wrecker. And of course, we're talking about Jalen Carter, who is now hitting his third year with the Philadelphia Eagles, whether it's pass rush, whether it's stopping the run, whether it is just beating up on interior pass blockers or run defenders. There is no better individual talent probably right now in the NFL as far as defensive linemen are concerned than Jalen Carter. The linebacker group is kind of where it gets interesting. The guy who is the best of this group necessarily isn't the highest touted of this group, nor was he ever. And that was Zach Baun, who had an absolutely phenomenal year last year for the Eagles, was due to be a free agent. He knew he had a great year with the Philadelphia Eagles. He didn't want to leave. The Philadelphia Eagles knew how valuable Zach Baun was. They did not want to move on. So kept him in house. But you still have a player like N'Kobe Dean who's been successful in his time. You still have Philadelphia Eagles legacy Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And by far, one of the more interesting selections in the 2025 NFL draft, former Alabama linebacker Jahad Campbell. I'll be honest. Jahad Campbell, I don't know exactly what the Eagles might do with him because Campbell is about as big and as athletic as the edge rushers for the Philadelphia Eagles. So this might be one where they just basically took a defensive weapon and they can maybe use him at linebacker. They can use him in the blitz packages. They certainly could use him as a stand-up edge rusher. It's going to be a really fantastic piece. And the thing is, there's no pressure for Campbell to come in here and succeed right away with the Philadelphia Eagles. Because even if you were drafted high and you go to the Philadelphia Eagles, you were still competing for playing time. You are guaranteed nothing. You have reserve pass rushers and Josh Uche and Aziz Ojolari. Both guys have had various amounts of success in the NFL to this point. These aren't even their starting edge rushers. The Eagles do not rebuild. The Philadelphia Eagles reload. Let's get to the secondary, right? Because we talked about Darius Slay moving on from Philadelphia. Well, Keely Ringo moves into a starting position for now. He will be pressured. There was some talks that maybe they would be interested in Jair Alexander, who ultimately ended up with the Baltimore Ravens. Again, Philadelphia leaves no stone unturned. Your starting safeties, Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown. Both guys have been highly productive. But what about this second round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles this past April? Andrew Makuba, in most people's opinion, the best free safety that was available in the 2025 NFL draft. You get to the rest of the cornerbacks. Of course, everybody last year talked about Cooper DeJean, but he was not even the first round pick last year. Of course, that was Quinyon Mitchell, who had a fantastic rookie year on the outside with the Eagles as well. Cooper DeJean, though, for me, is the guy you're going to look at for the Eagles in this secondary this year. Not only is he great at the nickel, they can probably have him play outside if Ringo is not developing at the pace the Eagles are comfortable with. Not to mention, Dijon could play some strong safety, could play some free safety. He is that technically sound. He is that athletic that there is not anything Cooper Dijon cannot do for the Philadelphia Eagles on the defensive side of the ball. They are always deep. They are always talented. They are always well coached. There's no question, in my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles are the top dog in the NFC right now. They will be challenged. The NFC East as a whole is going to be a better product this year. But are they on the Eagles' product level? My guess, is most likely they are not. Another year with Saquon in the system, the three big wide receivers, Hurts, great offensive line, a defense that may have some younger guys who need to step up. But the Philadelphia Eagles should 100% have their eyes and focus on returning to the Super Bowl and defending their crown. I am Jeff Lloyd. Thank you for watching the video here on Bet Canada. YouTube thinks that you'll love this video, and maybe you'll love the next video as well.